Virtus in Veritate. Welcome to Fortikast, the official broadcasting arm of Parif Northfield's official school publication Fortibus, sharing good vibes with the Northfield community every time we go live. Please welcome your hosts, Miggy Lopez and Lucas Lamzon. Lucas, you're muted.
Sorry. Hi, Mariners, and welcome back to another episode of Fortikast. And in this episode, we will be talking about self care. Now, why are we talking about self care in a month that focuses on love? Care to share, Miggy?
Well, after all, love isn't just about the relationships we see in real life. As we celebrated Valentine's Day, we also had to prioritize ourselves first and practice that self-care so that we can be in a good place and be able to share that same love with our friends and our family.
Yes, you are right there, Miggy. It's impossible to truly share love with others if you have none to give to yourself.
Yes, well, it's quite convenient that we had this free day today. It
Yeah,
give us time to
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 rest
worry
and
more about ourselves and rest. How do you spend it, Lucas?
So far, I've done a lot of chores today, like cleaning the room, helping cook breakfast, and doing folding my laundry and taking time for myself to do things that I love, play with my siblings, and enjoy time watching TV and relaxing. How about you, Miggy? What did you do?
Well, I started the day by helping my dad with some chores, mostly with the car. And so I got to just relax and sit in the car. And after that, we actually went to a guitar shop to pick up my bass because it just finished and I had a lot of time to just relax and play.
So, Miggy, uh, what do you do to relax? What basically do you do to relax? Chores for me. Sometimes it's chores that help me with if I'm overwhelmed with schoolwork. Sometimes it's chores. So what do you do?
Well, aside from music, uh, video games mostly help me just relax and forget forget about what's going on at the moment and just move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I think video games also help me to relax. Like when you play with especially when you're with friends, they help lighten the mood and just make the games really, really fun. So I guess with that, let's move on to our in focus segment. Now, as said by Miggy earlier, we will be talking about self care. And with that, let us welcome our guests, former Northfield teacher, Mr. John Watt, and CBCP Family Watch hosts and Northfield parents, Mr. Paul Price and Mrs. Denice Price.
Hello.
Hello and
Hi.
welcome,
Hello.
dear guests. So before we get started, would you politely introduce yourselves? Let's start with the beloved Mr. John Watt.
Kailangan pa ba ako mag-introduce? Kilala niyo na ako lahat. Anyway, so I am nag-love you sir what na agad. So but anyway, I'm John Juat and I taught in Northfield for 6 out of the past 7 years. I only left Northfield when I entered the seminary sa UST, but it didn't work out. But anyway, I love teaching religion. I'm passionate about character formation. Actually, I give trainings now even to DepEd superintendents. And we now cater to more than 500 schools nationwide and affecting more than 2 million youth. So, although my major in college, I started from BA Psychology and finished education, teaching in the early grades. I think nag-develop ako into something that's more passionate about spreading spreading positivity and really caring for the youth, no, especially the high schoolers. And I'm also an author of a book, Teaching Like Jesus, being a religion teacher in the post-pandemic era. It won last year lang sa Cardinal Sin uh, Catholic Book Awards, which is the arm ng Catholic Mass Media Awards. And I have also a book of poems entitled Let Me Live So I Can Love. And these are poems directed for the youth, no? About different social issues, uh, relationships, healing, peace. So basically, that's me in to summarize. No?
Sir. Good that I see that you are doing very well, and we're all missing you in Northfield. Do you think we want you to go back? So do you think that might happen, or in the near future?
I won't comment on that.
No comment. So Mariners, let's stay tuned next year and let's see what surprises that Sir Watt may bring. So how about you, Mr. Paul, Mr. and Mrs. Price? Kindly introduce
We are doing
yourselves.
good. Yeah, we'll introduce ourselves. Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm a father of five. I run our own business from home, and yeah, I'm a good dad. I
What?
think.
You can boast that? Arrogant, ah.
I'm the best dad.
All right. I'm Denice Price, married to Paul for 20 years this December. We have 5 kids, three were our mariners, and twin daughters. I'm sure you've all seen them. I'm a lawyer by profession, but I practice business with Paul. We homeschool the two youngest, and we are volunteers for EduChild.
Oh, same with my parents. They're also volunteers
Yes.
for EduChild also.
Yes.
So good to see po that all of you are doing well. So I guess we can move on with some before we start and dive into this afternoon's discussion. I would like to ask you a bit of icebreakers. So, what's the best piece of advice you have received regarding self care? We can start with Sir Wat.
Well, mukhang ako talaga yung nauna. Sige. I guess the best advice I have received, no, is that uh, to really get to know yourself first. Kasi normally, or when I was growing up, high school, I always lived as a conformist. No? My self-worth, my self-esteem is always based on pleasing people or making other people happy, making my parents proud. And naging ganun yung focus ko for the longest time, that when I realized na I couldn't keep up or I couldn't uh, make them happy all the time, na I blame it on myself, no? Until na-lower yung self-esteem ko. So, I guess the best advice I have received, uh, and I actually received this professionally, having gone through counseling also. Ang sabi is, yung expectations mo should not be based on other people, but uh, yung comparison mo should be between where you are now and what you can achieve with the help of other people. So it's not based on others, pero you set your own expectations based on how you know yourself. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you for that, sir. Uh, sorry. Um, my brain is not working. I'm very sorry. Yes. I used to do that as well. I tied a lot of my worth as well to how my parents thought of me, how my classmates thought of me, pretty much I didn't really care for how I saw myself, but more yeah. I'll be taking that. How about you, uh, Mr. and Mrs. Price?
Ako muna.
Yeah, good.
For me, self care, sometimes it seems like a reactive stand. No, it's like after you do all this, then you take care of yourself. For me, self care is more of proactive. So that means taking care of yourself so that you're ready. You're ready to face everything that comes to the day. What does that mean for me as a mom? That means when I come down, come downstairs from my bedroom, that means I'm dressed, I'm ready to go, I'm not in my pajamas, I've showered, a little bit of makeup, I'm ready to face the world. If somebody rings the doorbell, I'm ready. If somebody calls, if I need to go somewhere, I'm ready. So in that way, that kind of readiness, I'm prepared beforehand to take care of what is required. So even if I have a lot of things to do, that kind of preparedness allows me to do all of those things. Mother, wife, businesswoman, edu-child volunteer. That's how, as you know, some say it like is super mom. That's how it can be done. It's because you've already prepared beforehand. So you're ready then to do all the things you need to do.
For me, not I differ, but for me, self care is rooted on um, identity, like knowing yourself first. Once you know who you are and your relationship with the people around you, then you can better see that you are quote unquote necessary. You are you yourself matter. Hence, it would be automatic for you to really care for yourself because like, for example, on my own, I'm a father, and for me to be a better father, an efficient father to my children, then I should be taking care of myself to to stay longer or prolong my um, being a better father towards my children. Having that identity, a good sense of identity of my own and my roles, my responsibility, would also automatically let me see that I need to take care of myself as well to be useful towards other to the children that are in my care. Yep.
Well, first I'd like to comment on what's one thing that Mrs. Price said. He said na the moment you wake up, you're already ready for the day. You immediately get ready for the day. I do not do that. I should. When I wake up,
Yeah.
I usually eat breakfast and do all of my morning things in my boxers. Not really ready for the day whatsoever. Right out the gate, I go straight to doing whatever. But maybe it'll help. How about you, Lucas?
For me, it's what Mr. Price said, that you should. I think that you should be. How do I say this? You should have self care so that you can also help others. Because if you do not practice self care and you're helping others, then why aren't you helping yourself, basically? So I feel like that you should uh, care for yourself and then you should care for others. That's for me. So with that, we can move on to our question. Miss Price first one, which is what are some self-care practices that you can do in a short amount of time? For example, such as a busy workday.
Sino ba?
Who? Kami?
One
Kami
of you
ba?
po can start first. One of you po.
Yeah, go
Go.
ahead.
Ladies
Ladies
first.
first. Yeah.
um, For me, I like to go out into the garden. If it's like a stressful day, just looking at greenery or drawing the curtains in my home office where I can see greenery relaxes me. I also like to paint. So just grabbing my notebook and watercolor. So watercolor is very easy to do because it's just you just get water and you start, right? Versus acrylic or oils, you need the everything. It's a whole preparation. But watercolor is very easy, and you can even just choose a coloring book. Like there are, coloring books for adults, no? So you can do that, and it's like a pattern, it's like a floral pattern, whatever. It's just something that relaxes me. Um, Music also relaxes me. I'm not into Spotify. I don't really know those things. I'm old school radio. But also, if need be, a power nap is really, really good.
Do you you mentioned that you like to look at like scenery and gardens and stuff. Do you grow your plants as well or no?
Uh, I'm a sort of like a tiny plantita. I like plants. I'm not a green thumb in the sense that I can propagate and make multiple plants out of small plants. I can take care of it. Some will die, some will make it, but I'm really into orchids because they're very easy to do and the blooms can last very long. We have orchids that we what do you call that? We don't grow them ourselves, but we don't buy anymore because they just keep blooming on their own. And I really enjoy bringing them indoors, and they last for months.
Hmm.
Same with
All
my
right.
mom. My mom and dad are plantitos and plantitas. My
Oh,
mom, yes, my dad loves to take care of bonsai. Like he'll buy bonsai, put it around the house, and make it look nice. My
nice.
mom, on the other hand, she would buy plants from like she bought a plant from IKEA. She grows herbs so that when she cooks, she can just get straight from the garden and use it
Correct.
in her
Hmm.
cooking. She had a problem once where her plants kept dying, and she was wondering why, because she was doing so much for it, but she didn't know what to do. But now recently she's actually been doing very well. Her plants are now thriving, they're now growing. They just needed a bit more light and all. And I love seeing that they both love nature also. So how about you, Mr. Price?
Several things. One of the self care I do is taking time to pause, like within myself, and then maybe say a short prayer, or the same. Go out, take a walk, um, enjoy nature. I'm by my color alone, you will identify that I love being outside. I love going biking. These are the times that I'm by myself, or playing golf. These are the sports that I play, and I take care of an aquarium. So I like I can in my it's an aquascape aquarium. I can sit there for hours, although I still need to do a lot of things. So I try to limit myself. But it in itself relaxes me, like watching um, this aquarium in itself. And, yeah, and being outside. Yeah.
About the going outside, I wish I could say the same. It's well, at least it's gone from a monthly thing to a weekly thing. But it does feel nice though, just walking outside, seeing the people who live around
Yeah,
you, and yeah, watching life go by.
yeah.
Yeah.
Same with us too. For us at home, it's required for us to after every school day, like we end by 2:20. Our parents give us, like, for example, 2 hours to study and do all our other work, and then they say, "Oh, labas na kayo kasi kaka-computer mo." So they'll say things like that, na like, "Go out because you're been on the screen all
Jingle
day."
bells. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so
It
they tell
also
us to go out,
relaxes your
and
eyes once you're off the screen. It relaxes your eyes also.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
after that, when we play, We usually play basketball or
Yeah.
frisbee or play, and then after that our parents tell us to, okay, stop na, time to help for dinner and all that. So it feels relaxing, na instead of just being on a screen all day, you can go out and do the other things you love. So yeah, I also love, for me, things that I do, go out nga, spend time with my family, spend time with friends and all that. How about you, sir? What?
All right. Uh, what I normally do, I use this approach called the Pomodoro technique. Kasi mas gusto ko yung breaks ko is in between work, yung parang productivity. So to ensure that I do stuff very well and productive, I really seriously take short breaks in between. No? Rather than work, tapos ubos na yung energy mo for anything. So ano yung mga example ng mga self-care na ginagawa ko? Actually, nabanggit na most of them, like the outdoors. Uh, a lot of us love our porch. As in, the porch is the area where we have meetings, where my dad stays out in the morning, where my lola, before she passed away a few years ago, parang would stay out there and just look at the mountains. Parang there's something about fresh air na hindi mo makuha sa workplace mo. In my case, it's my room. So you always look for it. So kahit meron akong desktop dito na PC setup, maganda yung setup and everything, I would still normally go out using my tablet or laptop. Tapos doon ako gagawa ng work. Then sometimes I also play piano. So actually, when I went through a tough time before, yun yung tulong sa akin ng mom ko. She enrolled me in Yamaha. So I learned how to, dati widow ako, I just play by ear. But then I learned how to play the chords. So now to any song that I want to play, I just look at the chords, I play the chords, and then I sing it. So parang it relaxes me also. Not once in a while, nagka-karaoke din kami with my sister using YouTube. And yung mga free karaoke ngayon. It's very effective. It's very effective. For you, maybe not for the people at home. Maraming beses na, uy, ang ingay mo. Pero, yeah, and also, walking around, food also relaxes me. And yan, power nap, pausing, all those are very effective. And actually, once a day, I make it a point to write something that I'm thankful for, or a good reminder to myself. Parang just to affirm myself. Ako kasi minsan naghahanap ako ng affirmation, but iba yung love language ng mga ibang tao. So, just to end the day, I make sure I affirm something that I did right. No? Parang self-motivation mo na. Hindi naman siya sa mayabang ka na or parang you just think about yourself, but just to give yourself a little pat on the back na parang, uy, good job. So, yan.
Yeah, to be honest, sir, what I do the same thing every night. Like, I would pray before I sleep and tell God like what the good things I did today, and then that would help motivate me to do even better the next day, and then even better the day after that. And that for me that helps motivate me to become better, to become a better person, a better brother, a better friend, and yeah, this really helped me a lot. And yeah, how about you, Miggy?
Well, remember, sir, how sometime back you made us keep a journal of things you're thankful for the day? I think, sir, I maintained that for a few months after that homework happened because it felt good to like tell myself, you know, every day there's something you did right, something you be thankful for, something good that happens, that always happens.
Nice, no?
And
That's the first PT, first time I did that PT with my advisory batch. And it's good that they were able to extend it. Kasi ang idea nito is by nature parang it's so easy to see the negative. It's so easy to spot talaga. Even the smallest thing about ourselves or other people, ang dali natin mapansin. So just being able to identify the positive things goes a long way. So Nice one, Miggy. Congrats.
Thank you, sir. With that, we go to the second question. What are some signs that you need to take a break and, practice self care? Uh, sir, what?
Okay. Ah, actually sobrang galing ni Ma'am Price, Mrs. Price kasi yun na yung sagot ko sa question, no. Actually, what are the signs you need to take a break? Or as I was thinking about it, una, ang original answer ko was kapag pagod ka na. And I don't know how else to explain that. But I was reflecting deeper. Parang tama eh. It's more of proactivity that you need to come prepared because if you don't, parang when you reach that point na kailangan mo ng tulong, it shouldn't be self-care shouldn't be parang a band-aid solution na parang ay pagod ka na
Yeah.
therefore I need self-care, but it's an
Yes.
ongoing thing, it's a continuous thing. Actually I will share, no, the most powerful thing that I encountered sa UP Diliman when I took EDCO 101, educational counseling. Ang pinagawa sa amin is to write down 25 affirmation strips. So parang we would find maybe song lyrics or quotes, Bible verses, or anything good that someone else told you na susulat mo lang 'yan, compile it into a scrapbook, gandahan mo. And then when you feel you're losing hope, when you feel you're really going through a tough time, then take that out. It's parang self-care for yourself na parang uh, it's a lifesaver actually. Ilang beses ko siyang nalabas and nabalikan from that project because sabi niya you don't need to keep on waiting until you're at the very end na. Tapos you're parang desperate already trying to look for people to help you. So come prepared. I echo the statement of Mrs. Price there.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Watt. So we can move on to who would want to go first.
Of course, always the wife. So I can just take cue whatever she said or she did
Yes,
not say, I
dear.
will say it.
So I don't know, because sometimes, as I'm the only woman here, I feel like our signs may be different. So I will just share as a woman, and then I don't know what you would take from there. But for women, our self image is very low. So we know sometimes, like, I feel so ugly, or I feel like I'm not healthy today, or I feel like, you're just not at your best. And it's really a sign that, okay, wait a minute, step back. You are not ugly. You are made in the image and likeness of God. In fact, I'm a great believer that we're destined for beauty. No, all of us, men and women. And that's because we're made in the image and likeness of God. So we are meant to be handsome. We're meant to be beautiful. So all of that is should be what we are working for, because that's what we are meant to be and what we are meant to have. So when you feel kind of small, I'm not as pretty as her, or I don't know what I this is as a woman's point of view, the insecurities of women. But I suppose men also have that, but in a different realm or area. But yeah, that kind of insecurity, sometimes maybe you're just tired. It's not really that you're ugly. It's not really that you're not as good as that person, but you're just tired physically. So take a break, take a step back, refresh, take a shower, wash your face with cold water, and start again. Because that's the great thing about all of this, is that we can start again.
Yeah. Signs for me is better addressed if, like, as a man, now I'm taking on a
Yes.
perspective of a guy. Most guys have this problem solving tendency. All of us, like most guys, like, so I deal with dealing with self care. I deal with for a certain day or for a day, I deal with tasks. So I deal with problems on a certain day. And then I try to make sure that I finish that task if it can be finished. If not, then I take a break and then try if I can. But I never get to be comfortable in unfinished tasks. So the more I would be frustrated if I don't finish something that I started, then I would, so that's why I compartmentalize things into tasks. So the indication for me, it will become easier that I need to take a break. If I'm not solving it properly, if I need to address it in a certain way, then I know, then that's an indicator for me that, okay, I need to take a break, take a step back, and then deal with it later. And then that's how I practice self-care and regarding looking things in a perspective of finishing each task, compartmentalizing each and every task that I should be doing. Yeah.
I agree with that. It happens to me a lot where, like, for example, we have a lot of homework and I want to finish all of it at once, or you have to write essays or things like that. It it really frustrates me when I'm having a hard time doing anything. You know, I when I especially when I feel like my brain is just slow. Uh, I'm
Yes.
just not.
Yes.
I'm not. When I know I'm just not functioning as well as I could be. Yeah,
Yes.
I like to just step back,
Yeah.
uh, look at the problem as a whole, and sometimes just sleep on it. Work on it the next day,
Yeah.
relax, take a
And
break.
I
One crucial thing though is once you do that, like when you step back, do not deal with something else that will give you comfort, like say your phone or another screen. And if you're doing something like you're tasked to, I need to finish this homework because it's due in 5 minutes. And it's a 1 hour task. Do not do not also divert yourself from like, okay, I can do it later, I can do it quicker, but
Because at some
focus
point it
yourself on
becomes
something.
procrastinating.
Yeah, yeah. You're giving that time again to distract yourself more. Yes, you were
On
saying
the
that.
same note, no, when Mr. Price said to take a step back, and Miggy, when you were saying take a step back, I think it's important also that when you take a step back, you should go with people. It's not good to be alone.
Hmm.
When you take that break, be around other people. So your siblings, your parents, whoever, your friends. Like I'm talking as a woman again now. When I go out with my friends, my girlfriends, it really invigorates me and really strengthens me when I come back home. It's like
Hmm.
I can bake all night long with the kids, I can help homework, I can clean. It's like you are empowered when you are with friends. I don't know what it is about that coming together and sharing of our problems and sharing of our joys, but just that being in communion with others,
Hmm.
especially now that you can see each other face to face. I think it's important to have that time with friends as well, to really nurture friendships and to develop them into deeper friendships and not just, playing. Although I know video games are there to really to be in communion with your friends as well, no? So yeah, but a deeper, a face to face, real personal relationships.
Yeah, true, Mrs. Price, because in the pandemic, for me, I didn't really find like, oh, I couldn't hang out with my friends because all my friends are doing something else
Yes.
while I'm doing something different. But now when we see each other, we can talk, like we can probably talk if it's a weekend, we can talk over lunch for a whole, probably for a whole day, talking about what happened during the pandemic, what happened to us. We can talk about our problems, and all that, and share thoughts with each other. So really, now with face to face, my parents and I were all taking the advantage of going out and socializing with friends. Sometimes
Yes.
they allow us to play video games with our friends, because they know that
Mm.
because they also know that, oh, that helps the kids relax, and if the kids are relaxing, I'm gonna also probably relax also. So there, yeah, that's for me. How about you, Miggy?
Well, during the height of the pandemic, when there was absolutely no face-to-face classes pa, whenever like most of the time during school hours, I'd be in a call with some of my other classmates, even if we were talking, like we're just sitting
I
in that.
know who.
Yes, yes, them. Uh, sorry. It's just nice, having some. It feels like there's always someone there sharing that same, uh, sharing the same burden, sharing the work. Yeah, even if they're
Yeah.
not actually, it just feels nice knowing there's someone there as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Like
it
the
lessens that feeling of loneliness and that tiredness when you just share.
yeah. In a word, be connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, be connected, not necessarily or internet or, but still you're connected. That's the goal. Like for us, like as a parents' perspective, it also takes work for on our side to like be in conversation with our children, and it also gives us great relief. That's what I do actually. Like when I'm so tired, I'm so confused or whatever I'm doing, and then I just go out, and especially the twin girls that we have, they have so many stories, and once you ask something, they have so many facts to blurt out, and then, you're just like, wow, that's nice. And it takes also training to respond in a certain way that you're also excited for them for whatever, or yeah, whatever new thing that they revealed to you. Yeah,
Makes them
just being
Yeah,
feel.
connected. Yeah.
happens also the same for me. Like all my brothers read books. To be honest, I'm not really a book type of person, so they are especially intrigued with Greek, Roman, and like I think what Nordic or mythology. So, for example,
Yes.
like Hercules, Zeus. They always talk about that. We're in the car. They always find whenever we're talking, they always find some way to relate to that topic. And as me, they're all understand like, oh, this god is this, and then this guy is that, and I'm under there just like, yeah, that's good, but also that time I also get to learn now, oh, this guy, this also, wow, I didn't know that pala. Yeah, Norse myth, as someone said, Norse mythology, sorry. So yeah, seeing that they relate to that, and I also get to learn more about that thing too. So that also helps me relax, and then when they talk about and when I talk about something, they can hopefully also relate to it.
Yeah.
Just earlier, actually, I had to send my younger brother out of the room because he ran in here looking to tell me something random.
So yeah, that's the
Yeah.
goal. Be connected. Yeah,
And
like
just
connect with
remember,
them.
we were all at that age too.
Yes,
Yeah.
All of us.
I might
Same with
still be.
Kobe says also, as Kobe Kamaso said, my brother always bombards me with questions and stories too. Yes, also
Yes.
again, I was saying, my little sister, she's very, very talkative. Like once you tell her about this certain topic, she'll just keep talking and talking and talking, and then you're there. I can see it also in my parents when my sister's talking to them, and then my parents are like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, so I'll tell you a small story. So when my brothers and I were younger, we would watch this series on. Now it's on Netflix. We used to watch it on Disney Channel called Bobo Boy, and it's about this kid with this kid with a lot of abilities and all that. So then when we would talk about like what we watch in our child, like we watch Phineas and Ferb, these are old TV shows, Phineas and
Yeah.
Ferb, and other TV shows. She would like, what's Bobo Boy? And then soon after that, my brother started, I didn't know because I didn't talk to them about it. But then my brothers, I would see them, they're watching Bobo Boy with my sister. And now every time I see my sister on Netflix, she's just watching Bobo Boy all day. And then my parents are like, "What, Pia? What are you watching? Is that even good for you? is that productive, And then my parents were joking that like because Bobo Boy saw like a Malaysian TV show, so they were joking
Yes.
like, sige Pia, if you're gonna watch all that, you better be learning Malaysian while you're at it. So it's really funny that she does that, and I think that that helps her also relax in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, seeing that she's enjoying, and seeing that my brothers also influenced my sister to
The
do that,
sharing.
to
Mm.
share, to share. It's really really fun. Yeah.
Mm.
You're very mature,
Yeah.
Lucas. May I commend your parents?
Yes,
I will
they.
text her personally.
So in actuality, when you say self care, it's not really actually just focus on the self.
Yeah.
You will know yourself once you are connected to the people around you, especially people who are close to your heart. And yeah, this might be your parents, your siblings. Then you would better appreciate yourself.
Yeah, because
Mm.
everything we do isn't naman for ourselves, eh,
Yeah,
'di ba?
yeah.
Even if you're a student, why are you studying? Is it just really
Yes,
just
for
for
you.
you? Is that it? It's not right. It's for so that you can better study
Yeah,
in college, so that you can
better
decide,
serve.
yeah,
Yeah,
serve in society. You can be
yeah,
the best engineer, you can be whatever, no,
yeah.
a best dad in the future
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything is really about others and giving of yourself, and
Mm.
really the joy, you will find joy only when you give of yourself, when you serve, when it's not what can I get out of it, what do I
Mm.
want, what it's all
Mm.
about me.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ang dami na natin sinabi.
Yeah.
Kaya naman.
How about you? Before we move on to our third question, how about you, Surat? Do you have anything that you would want to add to that?
Ah, siguro I would just like to re-echo kasi nga yung import ng relationships. It's one of the things I always talk about in class is to develop real human yung personal connection kasi uh I can never forget the time that during the 18th birthday of one of my tita uh that nagka-stroke kasi yung dad niya. He was hospitalized sa ER. So imbes na sobrang grad ng debut, she just invited some of her close friends. And then ako parang sorry pa ako kasi nakalimutan ko yung gift. Parang na-invite ako dun sa very small group and they held their debut sa isang cafeteria lang sa hospital. Para nandun lang sila. And then I told her parang sorry I forgot my gift. Sabi niya, sira ka talaga no. Sabi ko, "Ha? Nag-sorry na nga ako." But ang sabi niya, you know what? You've already given me the best gift ever. And the best gift you can ever give anyone is a gift of time and presence.
Mm.
The gift of time and presence. And that stuck with me even though it's siguro 15 years ago already. Pero it's very, very clear in my mind. Ah, totoo nga naman. It's so easy to say, kapag may problem yung friend mo, oh, I have time for you. Replyin mo lang sa text. Replyin mo sa messenger. But you'll know who your real friends are kapag kaya mo nang sabihin, hey, you need my time. Uh, I'll go to you. I'll spend time with you. Kasi yung time with that person, hindi na yun mababawi. It shows how much you value that person.
Mm.
So I think that's one of the main points that I would like to connect with what has been said.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I also sort of relate because my mentor, Mr. Shout out to Mr. John Joe Pahe. He's a staff of Lantaka. So he tells me like, Lucas, if you have any problem, just tell me, approach me. He's very busy. Like he's a very busy guy, uh, especially now. But the fact that he still tries to find time for me and for his other mentees is just really you would really like, wow, this guy talaga. So, and to be honest, I haven't been really approaching him like saying, oh sure, let's talk for a bit. So I think that would really help. I think that would also sort of like make his day like, oh, you wanna talk for a bit? Sige sir, let's talk about this and this. He says, you can talk about anything to me, whether it's math, whether it's life, whether it's relationship. I don't have one, but anyways, or anything about that. he'll
Sunod
just
na.
he'll just he'll just talk about anything. You know, talk to. That's what
Previous.
mentors are there. That's why mentors are there to help you in life, to guide you. So really, again, shout out to Sir John Jopai for making time even though you're very very busy. Okay, so I guess before we move on to the third and last question, you can read some comments. Miggy,
Uh, uh, well, there's a lot of Kobe Kamaso. Let's go with uh, going back to an earlier question. Uh, he he said na sometimes you get pressured when the task seems so big. That ties into what Mr. Price said earlier about kind of dividing those tasks into instead of seeing it as just one big thing you have to work on. Yan nga, you divide into yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Lucas?
um, as what Kobe said earlier, this is all about. This is more or less Kobe's the only one, looks like the only one watching. Anyways, Kobe says always so excited when I go out with friends. Yes, I'm also whenever I see Kobe, he's always laughing with his friends. Good to see that you're hanging out with your friends and you're happy.
I
So
think Kobe has a top fan badge.
I think he does.
He's the one who updates the Wikipedia page now.
Yeah, Kobe. We're basically talking about Kobe now, but yeah, I think Kobe's one of the one of the most well-known people in the school. Like if you ask person from
Max.
every grade, talaga like you would hear, oh, I know Kobe Kamaso. Every time we go dismissal, oh, I know Kobe Kamaso. Bye Kobe, bye Kobe. So I would hear the grade two, grade three kids saying that, just to see Kobe, you're a very good guy.
We also have
Um,
another commenter here. Uh, I'm not gonna try. Glad to see everyone in this podcast again. And he says he still remembers that
Zani.
journal.
whoever you are,
What other
please.
classes did you have that journal with? Was it just us, grade 11 or a grade 10 that year? Or
Meron iba eh, yung gratitude journal, I think that was grade 10. But meron ibang batches na nagpagawa rin ako ng something similar na creative. I think
because
in grade
I'm
7
trying
or
to
grade 8.
figure out
Grade 7.
who this is.
May you please reveal yourself? And as Kobe, another comment by Kobe, I'm so impressed of how my parents, with the way they answer all my brother's facts. That is true. I'm also quite amazed when I tell, for example, my brothers and parents, like, Mom, I found this online, and I would think they don't know about it. But then when I'd ask them, they say, yeah, I know that. And I'm like, oh, so the way that they find, like, I'm just surprised, like when I would ask my brother Paco, really smart guy, loves to read, loves chess and other things. So I would ask him, and even riddles, I would ask him, Paco, do you know this riddle and all that? And I would like, oh, he doesn't know this. Like I would see him on his screen sometimes. He would be watching riddles. Oh, I would say, oh, he probably hasn't heard this riddle yet. Just wait, he'll probably be stuck with this. So I would ask him, oh, this and this, and after he would like, for example, paper. And I'm like, huh? How do you know that? Then I would ask him another one. He would still answer. So it just amazes me on how they all, if I would think they don't know, practically they would all know anyways. So, uh, I said, wait, whoever you are, please reveal yourself. Rabbit thief victim. Sir What says that you. He thinks that Sir What will
Yeah,
understand. Sir
I
What,
know already.
who is this
Grade,
man?
grade 6 pa yan. Oo.
Who is this?
I think it's still Kobe. Talaga.
I,
And then that's part of my grade 6 batch years ago.
Years ago.
So,
And as Inigo said, such a memorable gratitude journal, PT. Wow. And Kobe is saying accusation. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So, anyways,
Joke lang
I
yun.
Anyways, I think we can move on to our third and final question. The third question is, do you feel guilty taking a mental break when you know others are pushing through? Let's start with Mrs. Price or
Oh,
Miss or
no, I
Mr.
meant
Mr.
Mr. Watt.
Price
No, I
or
meant Mr.
Sir
Watt.
Sir Walt.
Yes.
Okay.
Baliktad pala. Dito pala.
Ayan. Anyway, ah sorry yung third question, parang nagbago yung question eh. Can you repeat the question? Do
The
you
question is, do you feel
feel
guilty
guilty?
taking a mental break when you know others are pushing through?
Definitely not. Straight out, definitely not because you need it. I'll just give a clear example. I'm the type of person na sa gabi, I sleep like 10 o'clock in the evening just because I couldn't take anything anymore. So even though alam ko may exam ako the next day, ang gagawin ko, I'll sleep earlier talaga. As in, sometimes if I need to sleep right after dinner, I will. Tapos gigising ako ng early morning kasi fresh na fresh yung utak ko. I have time to focus. I can even study for hours straight na with minimal breaks. So, sometimes kasi, why are you feeling guilty? It's always because of expectations. It's always because kino-compare mo yung sarili mo with other people. So if you do not compare yourself with others, bakit ka magigilty? Diba? It's only you and your goal. So that's also one of the lessons ng mental or self-care. Wag masyado mag-compare kasi we're all different. We all have different capacities. We all have different strengths. We all have different gifts. We all also have different struggles and weaknesses. But one of the most important things na I learned throughout my experiences is yung feeling ng guilt. It's always mahirap siya. So I guess the most important thing to realize is wag masyadong or learn how to let go. Learn how to let go, learn how to forgive. Uh, Forgiveness does not depend naman on what happened in the past. Eh. Forgiveness is a power you have right now. Because you want to grow, because you want to move forward. I remember one of the activities na pinagawa ko sa grade 8. May pinahawa ko ng water bottle na punong-puno. And then nagpa-price ako ng cheeseburger meal from Jollibee. So I really ordered. No? And then I said, oh, sige, kung sino pinakamatagal na hawak yung water bottle, will get this cheeseburger. Pero it's actually a deception. Kasi I gave the cheeseburger to the first one that dropped. No? Kasi sometimes you need to learn to let go and let God. Learn let go and let God. Kasi realize natin that the longer we hold on to something, especially in the past, hindi naman dumadadag yung problem. It's just mas napapagod tayo. That's why it seems more difficult. So, learning about guilt, self-guilt will be one of the most harshest things you can do or contrary to self-care. And yung health breaks, well, physical health, inaalagaan nga natin. Eh. People really go to the gym. Pero mental breaks, health breaks, or mental health is one of, actually, staying ko is even more important than physical health. We need to take it seriously also. There are a lot of people now going through a lot of bad things, a lot of lowering ng self-esteem. It's all around us. So, I find this topic very, very, very important. So, learn how to take breaks, learn how to not to compare yourself with other people. Tsaka, last analogy siguro na mas share ko is, kasi I drive, no? So, when I drive, I always tell people, parang, uy, di ba napansin niyo yung windshield? Sobrang laki. Tapos, merong mga mirrors, no? There's the rear view mirror, merong side mirror. So, what I always tell people, uy, parang logical to. You're the captain of your seat. You know where you're going. So, dapat may goal ka rin. Because kung nag-drive ka lang, wala kang goal, wala kang abutan, 'di ba? So, you're the driver and then sometimes the problem with most people is they look too much on the past. Na na na-hold on dun sila sa pagkakamali nila, sa guilt nila. So, nakatingin lang sila sa rearview mirror. But the number one rule of driving is to always look forward. Sabi ko nga, 'di ba, ang laki ng windshield compared dun sa side mirror and the rear view mirror. Yes, they're important. Glance side to side para hindi ka mabangga. Check your rear para, you know, hindi ka mabangga. But always look forward. So, kailangan ang goal natin is to take a step. Kahit baby step yan. Even if sabihin natin you're injured. And yes, I am injured. So, talaga take baby steps if you need to. But always forward. Take all the mental health breaks that you need, but always have that clear goal. Otherwise, wala kang patutunguhan. Yan.
True, sir. What sometimes I sometimes forget to let go. Like for example, Saturday is usually the one of the busiest days for me because either there's a family event or lantaka or any hangout with friends. And for example, the family has a dinner, lantaka has an event, and then you have outing with your friends. They're all very fun things that will help you. But you need to decide on one. And usually before, I want to do all three. But then, my parents would tell me, Lucas, sometimes talaga you have to choose between something. You can't just do everything. You have to choose. So sometimes you have to choose something and let go of another thing. So, for example, if you choose family, you have to let go of lantaka and friends. If you choose friends, lantaka family. If you choose lantaka, you lose your time with your family and your friends. But that taught me that okay, I can prioritize. If not this, if I can go to lantaka, if my family has this plan this week, I can go naman lantaka the next week. So it's okay. So I learned to let go. Still, I have some problems with it, but anyways, still, guys, as Sir Watt said, learn to let go and look forward na lang. So, who would want to go next? Mr. Price?
Okay.
The wife always goes first. Wait, hindi
Do I
na.
feel guilty? Do I feel guilty? No, because feeling guilty is the opposite way that you should be doing, or a reaction that you should be doing when you are doing self care. When you are doing self care, you should bear in mind that you are trying to enrich yourself and trying to take a pause. So, feeling guilty is the negative way of looking at self care. You should not. Do not look at that way, the feeling guilty that you are pausing or you're stopping, taking a step back. Yeah, and then start to compare yourself with others. Yeah, you feel much better if you look it in the perspective that you are trying to make your self better so you can give more. Yeah.
Yeah, so the
Miss
question I
Price?
think was, do you feel guilty for taking a break when others are pushing on, right?
Mm,
So it's all a different journey for everybody. For example, my artist who can do art in 10 minutes, right? Your art PT is done in 10 minutes. Whereas your other classmates is really painstaking. Each line is so
mm,
long because that's not his forte. His forte is something else. And that's what Mr. Watt and Mr. Price were saying,
mm,
honey,
mm,
that you need to find yourself also. Yes, but you are still very young gentlemen,
mm,
no?
mm,
You're still finding yourself and really learning na, I'm a people person pala, and oh, I'm an artist pala, and I need to
mm,
develop this. But these are things that you should know what your strengths are and where you need help on. So, like if art is painstaking for you, then you know that self care for that means having more time to do it. and not cramming it, right? So
Yeah.
some kind of things like that. No, don't
Yeah.
feel guilty because we're all different. Like had I known I like to paint, I probably wouldn't have gone to law school and become a lawyer. But I don't know, but that's what happened. And I think that training in law school gave me also what I need to be the mom and the wife and the businesswoman that I am today. So it's all kanya-kanyang journey. It's not a race. You know, we'll
Mm-hmm.
all get to heaven one of these days. But really, you need to one know yourself, which is part of that self-care. What am I? Who do I like? What do I like? What am I good at? What am I not good at? Those are things that you should learn now. You know, you make mistakes. Do I like basketball? Ay, hindi pala. Baseball pala ako. So this is the time for you, gentlemen. Try everything. Go to Lantaka, go to whatever sport. You know, this is really the time to experience and make mistakes and know yourself and grow further.
Well, one thing lang is that time period that we had within high school to try a lot of new things is, well, 2 years of that had been cut out by the pandemic. But
Yes.
while some people see it as like the time has been lost, it's still time is still time. During that time we still were able to even learn even more things that, for example, playing music. I never liked playing music, pero being stuck at home, having nothing to do, I
Mm.
gave it another chance. I gave it, and I found like, I found passion in that. Yeah, it's something I always saw as a chore. Like, I only have so much time at home when I get home from school, and then I have to practice piano pa. But it went from something that's taking up my time in my day to something that I seek out to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
How
that's
about you,
great.
Lorenzo?
For me, if I were to answer this question, do I feel guilty while taking a mental break while others are pushing through? To be honest, no, because sometimes if you're pushing and you're not resting, your body will be tired. For example, when you're doing the gym and you're lifting weights and all that, if you just do it continuously, you'll just get tired and you'll probably say, "Oh, I'm on the." If, for example, you're trying to do 30 reps and you're on the 15th, you don't take a break. You're like, "Oh, my muscles gonna cramp and all that." But if you take breaks, for example, 3 sets of 10, you when you take a break, you're like, okay, I'm ready again, so I'll push through. And then, okay, I'm tired, I'll push through again. So basically, you take, as Sir Watt said kanina, you can take small breaks, and then that will help you push even more to your goal. So yeah, also during the pandemic, I found things to be a lot better. To like look at them at a different perspective. For example, chores. To be honest, when I was before the pandemic, like chores was like, oh, just clean your room and all that. Clean your room. I didn't help much in the kitchen. Clean your room, do your laundry, and fix your bed. That's it because we had school every day. But now, when the pandemic happened, we all stayed home, and then my mom quit her job to spend time with us, so we got more time to spend with our mom, and then I got to cook more with her, and that really helped me a lot. I didn't find cooking as a like I think it's gonna take so long. Like if I'm gonna cook this food, it's gonna take this long again. So before the pandemic, when the pandemic happened, like I realized that that things will take time, and like the pandemic took time, and look, here we are now. The pandemic, I think, is more or less done, but yeah, I was just happy that I was able to spend more time with my family, and that really helped me instead of just staring at the screen all day. So yeah, do you, Sir Watt, Mickey, do you have anything, or Mr. and Mrs. Price, do you have anything to add before
I
we
wanna
move
comment
on?
something on yung nasabi ni Mrs. Price that parang people think that life is a race. No, parang in the society sobrang credentialized, sobrang competitive. And that is why napapagod tayo because we want to go, kailangan first ako, kailangan malamangan ko to. But rather than being on the top compared to others, why not just be the best version of yourself? Then I think life is a race kaya na mapagod, but it will only make sense if you put God first. If you put God, the capital G should go before race because it becomes grace and everything
Ang
will make sense.
galing.
I
Yun.
also learned the quote like, "Do your best and God will do the rest." Just basically do your best in everything. Even though life is short, try to take all these opportunities. And if you just let God and prayer go first, I think everything will just go on smoothly because really it's not your plan, it's God's
Mm.
plan. You know. So there. So before we move on to our 2 cents, we can look at some comments. So from which one
From
can I
just
get?
Toby and a few more.
From Kobe Kamaso, our mistakes don't define us. A great teacher. I'm not sure who this teacher is, but he is a great teacher, whoever it may be. Uh, can we guess who it is? Sir, what do you know who this is? Or I think this is you.
I think I know that person.
Who, sir?
I me. I told Kobe to put it in the chat. Maganda kasing comment yun eh. Pero
Yeah.
I don't sirain yung conversation.
And Javi and Carnation added, rather, it is how we get back up and learn from them. I think that's true. Like when we fall, we don't just stay there on the floor and like, oh, I did something wrong. You just get up and you move on. As Sir Wat said kanina, you look forward instead of looking back. And Kobe is the host of the comments. Kobe and Javi. Kobe said, "Try things while we still can." Yes, I think that is true. And remember that, and he says that remember that not all of us have these opportunities. Yes, that is true. I think we should thank God that that we have all these opportunities to go out, hang with friends, because sometimes not a lot of people will have that. There might be some uh, people that may not have friends. Let's pray for them, and we may not know who they are, but let's just pray for them, and yeah, thank God for all the opportunities that we have had. So, Sir, what
One
we
last thing
have?
that I wanted to add on that before, sorry, but before the
Okay.
final remarks, I just wanted to note that it's not only do few people have the same opportunities you do, but future you might also not have the same opportunities that current you will have. So you know, take
Very
those
wise.
that you have, and yeah. Sorry, go on, Lucas.
Okay, I guess we can move on to final remarks. Sir, what do you have any?
Yes, actually I have two very important points. The first point I would like to make is something I repeat, no. I give talks about this. It's on the development of the self, no, uh self reflection. So it always starts with self knowledge. We have to know who we are. Kasi actually when I was having problems nung high school, paulit-ulit yung friend ko. It's God who defines you. It's not your mistakes. It's not what you fail to do. It's not your strengths. So parang paulit-ulit siya. Tapos now it started to sink in. Parang yes, we need to know who we are. Sino ba talaga tayo? Kasi if we find our happiness based on other things or what other people will say, parang there's something missing, terribly missing in our lives. So self-knowledge, we have to realize how gifted we are. Talagang we need to count our blessings, purposely try to identify it in a day because there are many. There are many things. There will be the little things that God will always tell you, I love you. This is God's way of saying I love you to us. Many gifts, He will give that to us. And then it is our responsibility next to use all the things that God has given us to make us a better version of ourselves. Totoo yun, we cannot give from an empty cup. Or we cannot pour from an empty cup or we cannot give what we don't have. Uh, it is not wrong to develop ourselves. No? In fact, it is the challenge is out there. No, be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. It's so. crazy high na expectation. Pero it's there, no? You have to use the gifts, otherwise masayang. And yung song na Learning to Love Yourself is the greatest gift of all. Siyempre, binanggit ko na lang, no? Hindi ko nakakantahin. Uh, it might be true, pero kulang for me. For, it's the first step. Because you cannot love uh, others without loving yourself. So ang goal what I share with people who go to me for help, ang sinasabi ko, never love other people more than you love yourself. Kasi once you masyado kang uh, emotionally connected, masyado kang talaga nag-attached with other people, and you talagang you give your all na parang end of the world na kapag something bad happens or what. No, you have to love yourself more than you love others. And then I think the last point I would like to make is this whole topic of self-care uh, all boils down to one question, or the main point of happiness. So I guess I would like all the viewers, no, and maybe just kayo to reflect what makes you happy, no. Actually, that is a I would like to change that because normally that is a question everyone asks us: what makes us happy? But I would like to twist it a bit and tell all of you to ask yourselves who makes us happy. Are we happy with things, or are we happy because we are in the presence of God? Sabi nga ni Sir, di ba yung pagka-pogi, pogi at maganda. Sabi ni Miss Price, yung pagiging pogi at maganda. Ako, tunay na pogi. I always tell my class this. All of us guys are pogi if only we have the presence of God inside. Yun yung tunay. Ibig sabihin ng pogi, presence of God inside. So yung sa mga students ko, I tell them, pogi ba kayo? Hindi pa kayo nag-confession. Confession muna kayo. Magiging pogi kayo after.
I saw that joke, sir.
Yeah.
I saw that on a joke. We're
So,
like, are you sinful and ugly? Just be ugly, go to confession.
right.
I saw that, it's like, oh,
Just be ugly.
just be ugly, go to confession. I'm like, uh,
So, yeah, I think that would suffice for my closing statement.
okay. How about you, po, Mr. and Mrs. Price? Do you have any final remarks, shout outs that you want
Uh,
to make?
yeah. Doing self care is truly like finding joy. And you can only find true joy if you give yourself to other. Yep.
My final words is really to connect, no? As young gentlemen that you are, your listeners, your viewers, mariners, I think it's really important to connect with your friends, but also important to connect with your family. Sometimes when I remember being a teenager myself, and it's like me and against my parents, it's like you don't understand me, you don't know what I'm going through kind of phase, but believe me, they're there for you. So connect with them as well. They're there. They're waiting. They're ready to, like help your mom when she's cooking. Just chop the onions for her or something. It's all a matter of perspective, and really, they are there for you, and you can connect with your family and your friends. Thank you so much for having us.
Yep.
Okay, welcome, po. Sir, what or Mr. and Mrs. Price, you have any shout outs you want to make?
Shout out to my inaanak. Someone from the team, I won't mention lang kung sino. Pero meron ako inaanak sa confirmation. My fourth godchild. No, actually, yun daw yung mark ng pagiging good person when people trust you, and although grabe yung responsibility, I will always remember what you said, no, Mr. Price, nung sa seminar no confirmation. Help me to bring you to heaven. That's really powerful. So I think that's the main goal. Actually, one of the most important experience ko dun sa Northfield was imbes na mentor ako, parang officially to some students, there was one person na nagsabi, "Sir, I consider you as my spiritual spiritual mentor." And I think that's the most important thing na, wow, 'di ba parang you're not only giving your time for your students, but you always consider them as souls. So, and you're always on a pilgrimage, and actually nothing else will matter in life. It's and if you really want true happiness nga, you bring them closer to God, not to you. Para ka lang sign, no? Parang this way, you always point to heaven kasi uh, ang sabi la as a teacher, you don't like your students to be like you. When people comment to me na, sir, I want to be like you kasi ganyan ka. Parang dinadivert ko pa rin because what I want is for them to be what they are called to be. So, yun. I think that's it.
Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Price, do you have anyone to shout out? Friends, family?
Yeah, everybody. Thank you.
I don't want to shout out, baka mahiya eh. Alam mo na yung mga anak natin dyan sa tabi-tabi. Hi. Never mind. It's okay.
Shout out to my sons.
There.
Actually, shout out to all the listeners na kahit holiday, kahit, you can just spend your time in bed, you chose to stay and participate. And to all the team replay there. Sana may marami pa kayong matutunan.
Okay, so again, thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Price, and thank you, Sir Watt, for joining us in today's episode. And we look forward to seeing you guys again. And with that, we can move on to 2 cents. Miggy, I think this is our longest episode yet. We talked about so much and really learned a lot from what Mr. and Mrs. Price said. So, do you have any key takeaways from what they said?
Well, for the first one, uh, wait, I wanna, you know, when you take a break doing it or do it around people, you know, often you can get trapped in your own negative bubble. I often tend to see myself and I notice that when uh, I'm in a slump, I tend to be negative towards myself, and it just piles on and piles on. But to have other people around you, it makes you realize you're wrong in what you're feeling about yourself. How about you, Lucas?
For me, was the one that Sir Huat said, ang laki ng windshield compared dun sa side mirror and rear view mirror. Yes, they're important, but always look forward. Na like, don't look at the past, just, look forward. And like whatever struggles you've had in the past, uh, you can use that as motivation. Like, oh, I'm not gonna let this happen again. I'm gonna move forward and do even better. For example, Vinta Cup, we lost we not badly, but like we lost all of our games. I think that motivates me. Like, oh, I'm gonna do even better next time. So instead of looking at the past, like, oh, we lost. Oh, we're so bad. They called us North Brick. Can you imagine? They called us North Brick there, and all brick. If you don't, for our viewers, if you don't know what that means, it means that we kept missing our shots. Brick. So they were like, "Oh, you're North Brick," and all that. So I feel like that would help motivate me to like, okay, watch this. I'm gonna show you next time. Like, okay, we're gonna show who we are, Northfield, diba?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would sort of like, instead of looking past the back, like, oh, we lost, move forward and say, okay, I'm gonna do even better this time.
I
Do you
think
have
I,
any
I
other?
agree. One of the biggest motivations for me is when I do something bad, or like when like yun nga, when I play something and don't do as well as I know I can, it the frustration that comes from knowing that you could have done better, that people are now know you as something you're lower than what you actually are. It makes me it makes me want to improve myself more. Makes me want to prove na I'm consistently a lot better than they saw me that time. One more comment that one more takeaway I wanted to do is where is it? Uh, the best gift you can give anyone is your time and your presence. I really like that because you know that feeling when you're talking to someone and it's a medyo emotional or important talk for you, but then their response is K, you know, it feels like they don't really want to give you really the time and the effort that you're giving them, and so it feels na and so you yeah.
And for me, siguro one last thing was what Mr. Price said, that doing self care is truly like finding joy, and you can only give true joy if you give yourself to others. I mean, like, uh, uh, very true. Like, you find the joy in like giving yourself to others. Like, oh, if I give myself to God, then I know that He'll be able with Him. I'll be able to. Go and do everything that I can. So really, it's doing self care. It's really truly finding joy. And there, I guess we can end our episode with that. And there. So again, Mariners, please stay tuned for our next episode. Will be next month, March 17. Get ready for that. And if you are also interested in joining Fortikast, please contact Mr. Kiko Perez and me, Lucas Lamzon, for more details. And thank you to all our viewers for watching Forticast. This has been Lucas Lamzon and Miggy Lopez. Virtus in Veritate, there is strength in virtue. This has been Forticast, online show sharing good vibes and bringing together the Northfield community. See you in our next episode. Fortuna Favet Fortibus.